Hi, folks. Bill from Our Shop Adventures. Thank you for being with us. Dawn is not with us today, so I'm going to have to do this video like this. She is babysitting today. She's had a lot of laser cutting or laser printing to do, and I think she now is out on the Rhino with the little peanut. So I'm working on a 4020. Customer stopped by to pick up something from Dawn, and their dog got our toy. I'm working on the fenders today, and it's been painted before. So on the light rings, we got a lot of paint. On this, we got a lot of paint. This could be a little bit tricky to get off, especially the lens, but I'll figure something out and get those off. Now these are the light rings for the halogen bulbs. Best way to clean these up is goop hand cleaner, and it'll get a lot of the stuff off, and it'll make the black look a lot better. And then you can just use tire shine to put them back on. I think that's about it here. These I'll replace. They're getting cracked. These I'll probably replace. If you look at the edge, sorry about my fingers there, the edge is pretty chewed up on these. So I'm going to have to call John and see what he wants to do, because all four of them are like, well, actually there's 5 like that. I picked this hammer up last Saturday. Get rid of that. I picked this hammer up last Saturday, and it is heavy. I mean, it is very heavy. I paid a whole $1 for it, but I wanted it for this. 1, I liked this. 2, I liked the shape of the bull nose on there, and I thought that would be good for hammering out stuff. Now, what we don't get is, why does this come off? And then it's threaded. I don't know if you can see down in there, but it is threaded quite a ways down in there. And the only thing we could think of was an extension. Have no idea why. It's a ball peen hammer, so you wouldn't have nails or anything like that in there, I wouldn't think. It's got to have some age on it. There's no name on it. So I don't know. On the fenders here, this fender isn't too bad. I got, this would be the left-hand fender. We do have a crack here where the back light was, so I'll have to cut something out here, get the holes lined up, re-weld the patch on there. This one, pretty well dent-free. That little dent right there. Right there, it's got a high spot. A little bit right there. And that's about it. There was a mirror with a bracket, so we're going to get rid of that, eliminate that hole, line it up. This appears to be good here, where the rear flasher goes. This is bubbling up here, but it appears that it's good here, here, and on the sides. So I will probably cut a square here out of here and replace that. Now, our process of that I'll show you over on the other fender. This is the piece I cut off, and you can see how bad this was. Now what happens is this plate behind it, water gets in there. I can probably show you on this one. Water gets behind that plate. Now this one's really good on the inside. You can hear that they're back. So what I did, as you can see the holes, is I drilled right on top of that plate. I drilled there. I think there's one under there. There. Okay. Then I used a 1/4-inch piece of tape and came down below that. And then even that I used just green painter's tape, that even that I used that, I took a marker and drew alongside the edge of the tape on the bottom line of that tape. So this gives me just that 1/4 inch underneath here. We can lift it up, Dawn can blast it. We'll cover it in weld through primer, and then we can weld it up. We'll have to weld the seam completely. I'll probably overhang it a little bit here, and then I'll cut it off that way. Now cutting, I'm sorry about the fingers again. Now cutting something like this, we can go with the 4-inch, this is the Eastwood, set it at the right temp and cut, or height, and cut that off. I went with just a cut-off wheel because I can control this better and just lightly do it and stop on that. When you use the saw, this was, anywhere that you can see right here, anywhere there was rust, that comes up. So it wouldn't have gone flat. It wouldn't have went flat. You'll see me use this probably on the 59 Suburban. This works really good. And the nice part, it does throw some stuff, but the nice part about these is it has the catch for the shards. And it does work good that way. But always use your shield. I've had glass taken out, or metal taken out of my eyes. It doesn't feel good, especially if you can't get to the doctor quick enough to take it out. I don't wear contacts because I can't stand stuff in my eyes, so it's kind of freaky getting it out. So, but get yourself a nicer one of these. This is not the top of the line, but you can see where this one bends all the way around. And the shield is a lot better. The shields now can be replaced. There was a shortage or something, if it had something to do with COVID or whatever, you can get the shield. They run anywhere from $12 to over $20 depending where you go. I have a ton of these headsets, and now we can do that because we would go, need a new shield, we'd have to buy the whole thing again. But I don't want to go without it. I always wear it. Like I said, that glass in the eye was just horrible. I'm not sure if these fenders are both off this tractor. This one, if you noticed, are painted black. This one are painted green. I think somebody painted these while it was in there, but just the shape of the tractors or the fenders on how nice they are. I think this one over here on the left was put on somewhere else, but the same thing. You can see where this is just all corroded on the edges. Whoop, all corroded on these edges. So probably going to have to replace them. These are, let's slide this over. These are the fender stands. These go up underneath there. They bolt all the way through. This is prone to rusting, and that's what helps rust that. When I'm done with this, I will take that plate and I will use seam sealer. Now, don't go to your hardware store and get a bath and shower caulk or anything like that. You want to go to a good Napa, Eastwood, whatever, and get an actual automotive type seam sealer. It doesn't shrink, and it will help a lot, and it will help a lot with this water getting in here. As you can see, these both through the fender, these rust inside of there. You can see where that one's bent a little bit from hammering it out. This one broke. I'll just put all new ones in. And that one there ain't too bad. That one ain't too bad. Rock in there. So yeah, they're not the easiest things to get out. If you look at this one, it's pretty chewed up, it's thinned out. So, bolts are cheap. Bolts are really cheap. and we always have them on stock because we're building a hardware store. Now, where I did this, I just wanted to get some of that off so I can see where I was cutting, so the masking tape held on a lot better. 80 grit. It doesn't take a 40, 36, 24 grit to take this paint off. The heavier grinding disc you use, I just use these, Roloc wheels, the less material you're going to take off. You start getting into real heavy grinding disc and you're going to thin this out, which is the last thing you want to do because we're going to have to weld this entire thing. So you want to have good metal there to do it on. You can see where I had to drill out all these spot welds, and that's generally where they come into play with derusting. Along this edge is usually the worst. I drilled these out. You got to look down, you got to look because they're hard to find. Some will stand out real easy. I drilled them out first with a 9/64 drill bit. And I don't drill all the way through. You just drill until you can get something in there. Now, if I drilled all the way through, no big deal. You just go behind it and weld it shut. But you want to prevent as much as you can. And then I went, I think it's a little over 3/8. I think maybe like the 5/8 or 7/16 or something. And I drilled them out, and then you can hear a lot of them. You can watch them pop. And then, but I never went through. That one looks like I might have went through a little bit. That one maybe too. You have to chisel a little bit of them if they don't drill out right. I did flatten this piece out where it rolls over because I got to cut it flat. This fits there, and I need to know where it goes over there. So I'll weld this flat piece first. After I cut it, I'll weld the flat. I'll put my own spot welds in, and then I will slowly use a mallet and curve this over to where it does that. I'll draw a line. We can cut them on the edge because these edges are really nice. They're not bad at all. Don will be able to clean those out. So, next thing, got some more parts painted. Gonna be clearing them here as soon as I'm done with this video. I'm gonna get the clear on, then we can get them off the rack. Tomorrow, they'll be nice and dry. I got the fast hardener to go with it, and they'll be nice and dry so we can put them aside and forget about them until we do the tractor. Hood, I got sanded. We don't like to blast the outside of hoods because they do warp real easy, especially this back part. This one obviously has been done before because the back part, them suck in and you got to stretch them back out to fit over the tractor. But we will lightly blast the inside. It's been painted. I don't look like they used a whole lot of paint on the inside. I do have some dents there. The front end's been messed with quite a bit. It's pretty, some dents, but maybe stretched out a little bit. And then there's a dent in the front somewhere. All in all, this is really in good shape. Generally, I've had them smashed from here back to there. It was always recommended that I make die sets to make the new hood piece for that. We're gonna go outside here and on the truck. A couple wagons I just kind of messed around with. We got a neighbor that does flower arrangements. So I took the wheels off, put some skis on there for Christmas time. On the bed, if you can see up in here, the front of this is starting to rot off. And I can make this piece with these lips and go down and go down and go down. It'd be very time consuming. I think the new piece was less than $100 with shipping and everything. It is, we ordered it Monday, and all it says is it's boxed, ready for shipment. So I don't know where it's at, or maybe it hasn't even left the place yet. But I'll cut it back to here. It's only 19.5 inches wide, 4 feet long. I'll cut it back to about here. I'm going to have to section it somewhere in the middle and then go back down to here. This piece I'll just make myself. I'll get this cut out and make this piece. This piece will have to be bent over, I'm sure, and break to a 90-degree angle. I will redo all this caulking. We have a couple other areas that we had to do. It rust where the bolts are. You can see one hole over there I still have to do. And then we'll be able to get this up on the rotisserie and then flip it over, blast the inside, flip it over. This thing is really in nice shape. This all blasts extremely easy. I think there's a couple dents in each floor or wheel well. I think there's a couple dents in each one. Not that big of a deal. Once it's on the rotisserie, Don can do one side, I can do the other, and do some hammer and dolly work. So it'll make life a lot easier, that's for sure. So looks like they're back with the Rhino. This is a light up nativity scene. It is for sale. Make us an offer. It does work. I think the Jesus right there, I think is like 7 feet tall. I'm not sure about the other ones, but it is big, it is heavy, and we would like to get rid of it. So I think $50 would probably take it all. So on that note, I'm gonna sit down here. On that note, 7 weeks without these things. I am so grateful. It is unbelievable. I can't thank Athletico enough that I don't have to wear these bulky things anymore. They taught me how to keep my feet apart, keep my toes in, and my ankles up. I've been wearing these for just under 5 years. I think just a little over 4 years maybe. I'm due for a new pair, and I don't know if I'm even going to go get them. They are extremely hot. You have to wear tall socks all the time. You can't wear steel toe shoes, can't wear high tops, can't have the sole in the bottom of your shoe, no Velcro, no slip-ons. It's kind of crazy, but the shoe has to fit the brace more than it has to fit your foot. So you can imagine how bulky. It does come kind of second nature wearing them, but not having them on, my shorts, my tennis shoes, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So I am grateful. I am extremely grateful that I don't have to wear these bulky things and put them on and off all the time. By wearing them all the time, it actually depleted a lot of muscle mass in my calves and in my ankles. If you people see me walking around, I'll be walking on my heels, and that is to strengthen my heels. So I do have to do it, and I do other exercises constantly to always make improvements to myself. If I'm ever going to do an obstacle course race, get back and build the muscle that I had, I don't know. We'll take that one day at a time. Hopefully, everything will work out. If not, I'm 59 years old. It's kind of hard at this time. But On that note, I'm going to go out here for a minute. Nice breeze out here. On that note, we got very few fields left. I think we got a little corn over there that needs to go out of the neighborhood, and that's it. On that note, always be grateful. Be grateful for what you have, and be grateful for what you did have. Think of the good stuff. Think of good times. I think of my childhood all the time. I had a great time growing up. I wasn't a perfect kid. By any means was I a perfect kid. I like to drink. Yeah, I like to smoke dope a lot too, but I'll quit all that pretty much when I got out of high school, when we moved. I pretty much got out of that. I always wanted to be a body man. I didn't ever wanted to be a collision person. I always wanted to be a body man. So I've been doing this since 1984. And I've had that dream ever since. And here I am doing it. Since I've been sick, I've gained 2 wonderful daughter-in-laws and now 2 wonderful granddaughters. So that is, I am extremely grateful for what I have. I have the family that just helps support me. I hear from a lot of people, oh, how do you do it? I don't want people like that around me. I don't need that shit. I want positive people that encourage you, to help you keep stuff off your mind. So think positive, be grateful. I'm going to put on my headphones, jam to some. I think I got Eric Clapton. What do I got on this one? Eric Clapton, Robert Cray, Jeff Healey. So I'm going to jam to some music, get my parts cleared. And then we got LP football game tonight. Only 2 games, tonight and next Friday. So we got to make sure we make them for Dane and encourage him on. They're a great bunch of kids. So on that note, I appreciate you watching. Subscribe if you'd like. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. If you could tell me what the hammer was for, that'd just be something nice to know for myself. What was that? Why does that turn out and have all them threads inside? If somebody could help me out, I'd sure appreciate it. And as always, stay cool and take care. Thank you. Bye.